Right, as you see, I've took it apart. Now, I think almost definitely one of the problems is that the hole in the outside edge of this spring is definitely unhooking from this like plastic peg I have on here. It's a similar plastic peg to this I have on here. This one's a bit smaller on this one. This one I did make bigger to try and catch on the inside. But I think it's also is the problem is that this inside loop is opening up a bit, because I did tighten it pretty tight around this shaft. Originally it wouldn't even go on this shaft. It was too tight, this hole, too small a diameter, so I had to make a part to almost wedge it on. That's screwed on here. See my other videos about that. But it sort of keeps opening out this part in the middle. Now I've been looking online about Clockwork springs, and what they seem to have is almost like a rivet thing with a head on. So I thought what I'll do is actually drill a hole in here, put a 3mm bolt in. Obviously this will have, the bolt will be cut to length, whatever. Same in the outside. And I know that this head on this 3mm bolt will fit in this hole. Well, pretty sure it will. Yeah, I think I can waggle it in there. Get the bolt or the head the other side. Now this will make it extremely awkward to fit in and on. I mean, it's awkward enough as it is, particularly hooking this part on. I think can hook the outside on, and then that's okay because you can do that separately. But when it comes to the inside, it's awkward because of this plate. Now this plate is wanted in a way, needed to stabilize the shaft as it's coming through here. Otherwise it'd be just relying on the headpiece. So what I think I'm going to do is actually have quite a few cutouts in this. I'll print this out again, but with openings in to allow access and allow viewing through here, but yet still have some enough on here so that it does still support this shaft as it's coming through. That's the basic idea. So let's redesign this part. Hole in here, 3mm bolt, cut the length, drilled in, threaded into there, force threaded, drill a 2.5mm hole in, and then a 3mm bolt into that, same as in the outside here. And that should, see, that's going to be extremely awkward to come off there, and the edges of the bolt head, when the clip on this type thing, will also stop the, I hope, stop the spring from coming off, so to speak. Because one of the issues is, as it's tightening up, the spring is sort of pulling inwards and getting smaller, and that's why I think it's in hooking off here. It's basically getting smaller, less tension pushing out, and it's just not gripping it particularly on that side, I think, at the moment. So I'm going to get this spring out. Let me fiddle about and get this bolt out, because actually it's got stuck in there now. And all I did is actually twist it a bit and it's come out. So these are just button-headed Allen balls that I intend to use. Cutting them to size, okay. Let me see about getting this spring out first. I expect this will open up. Sometimes it can open out 2-3 times as big as, as a start, so to speak. Now what, just a second, because what I think I might do is try and put a tie wrap around this. So I've got this tie wrap here. I'm just going to somewhere, well, quite a bit bigger than this at the moment. Well, a bit bigger than the outside diameter of the spring, I think. And now it is possible to actually pull it up and let it out from the centre, I believe, looking online. What I want to try to do is actually lever this up from the edge. I do have some gloves, but let me see. So I'm putting this horse under the edge, under here, and then I'm going to actually twist it. Yep. That is moving it up. And I'm gradually going round, because it is unhooked. As I say, it did come unhooked. Right, that's been twisted like the screwdriver. Just about. So I know my hands are going over. I have to be prepared for flying out. No, actually I'm going to just, can I? No, I don't think so. So I intend now to almost lever it on this edge. Again, the screwdriver. It's coming up a little bit there, but not much. So I'm gradually going round. Sometimes it seems like it's catching actually. I think what I find it easier to do is actually leave it on the other metal sort of rings coming around here, the metal bands of the spring. I mean, the trouble is there, that's pressing down. So have a go with these long nose pliers a bit, see if I can do anything, getting it down the tip down this edge where this pin comes out. Nope. Can't grip it. Can't grip it enough to do that. It has come up, as you see. Try and get that one underneath this one. A lot of energy stored in springs, so be very, very careful following this on. You shouldn't really need to do this. If again, I'm levering it. Take those. Oh, it's out, it's out, it's out. Yep. And those tie wraps have helped out a massive amount. Let me just wiggle that down a bit more central. That up a bit central. So that's held, those tie wraps have definitely helped a lot there. I have to be careful. Actually, I'm going to cut these off. Just using the sort of wire cutters on these long nose pliers there, just so they don't less likely to get knocked. Right, I can put this away for now. So the idea here, as I say, is drill a 2.5mm hole in here. Have a bolt coming out like that with the head. I'll probably keep the pin in, at least for now. I might want to file it off. Same on here, 2.5mm hole. Force the bolt in. These are 3mm balls, so that the head's just above that, like pin, plastic pin thing I've got. And that will hold the spring on, I hope. So I'll get my twist bits. Right, the problem is I want the bolt to be almost the centre of the pin. If I'm going to bother keeping the pin on, I might want to file this like plastic pin down. So to do that is going to be awkward, getting the right height, etc. There's a big grease on here, that's what that white stuff is, lithium grease. So I've got a really small 1.5mm twist bit here, and I'm getting that like visually centre. Okay, I can't really show you that in the camera when I do that. I'm just going to press and twist it using my fingers to see if I can get this started at least. Yep, I think that's starting. So this is quite thick here, this wall. That's part of the design. Part need to give this peg strength, except then from an old design. So I can have a reasonable length of bolt in here when I get this. But this is just to, I've just got a tiny dent in there, I think. Only just. I'm pressing quite firmly here. I'm twisting, okay. I'll continue on doing this until at least I get a reasonable amount done. Doubt if you can see any dent in there. Well, I drilled a little bit into there using a drill like this. But the problem is there is going at an angle because of the chuck and such like. So why just to make a sort of hole as a guide. What I plan to do there is get this smaller bolt, about 1.5mm, 2mm, and heat it up and melt it like through, all the way through, so I get a hole in this side, and then I can drill that. That's just a guide hole in straight to 2.5mm. Now you won't have to do this, it'll be like the design will actually have the hole to a certain extent printed in. This is just for me because I am prototyping and I don't want to have to print this part out again unless I really have to. It's about a 5-hour print. So I'm going to heat this up. Long nose pliers. Got the cigarette lighter, well, gas lighter. Now you shouldn't keep these on for much more than 7 seconds, I don't think. Let me just see if we can get lined up. That's quite a bit bigger. Maybe a bit of oil on this bolt actually. That's why you're getting a bit of smoke off it. And that did melt in there, but didn't go very deep. I'm pressing quite firmly here while trying to squeeze and push it in. And then it does stick a bit when I'm coming to pull it out. See there, it was stuck quite a bit there actually. the deeper this is going to go, I think the more it's going to stick. Yep, let's come all the way through now. So I'm just going to leave that a bit, let this cool down, and I'll drill a 2.5mm hole through here on this side. That's just so I can get in there straight. So let this cool down. So yeah, I've drilled a 2.5mm hole in right all the way through, using that other hole as a guidance mark. Can we see that? I think so. I'm getting a little bit of swarf on this. Try and keep the swarf from the twist bit from the inside as much as possible, because the spring will be in here. Don't want bits of plastic getting caught up in the spring. Okay, so I'm going to get some balls. So I've got these M3 10mm long button headed balls, and I'm going to do this from the outside because it's a bit easier, just to get the threads in. So let's push, get that lined up with a hole, pressing and almost forcing it into this 2.5mm hole. So it's a 3mm bolt, but it's going into a 2.5mm hole, and basically it will cut its own threads, a bit like a tap where you go backwards and forwards just to make sure everything's okay. I'm going backwards and forwards a little bit as I go, every so often. So that's just bolting in there, fine. Actually the length of this might be almost perfect really. Let me see. Yep, the edge of that bolt is right on the edge of that pin, more by look than design. So now take this out. I'm going to screw it in from this side now. That's just basically to get the threads into this. This is PLA plastic, but you can do this in ABS as well. I would probably recommend ABS for this, realistically, especially for like a spring part that's on the pole. Getting this lined up is a bit, again, because it's at an angle. Well, I've managed to screw it in. Actually I did a longer bolt all the way through. It was a little bit, not quite went through, and that's just inside the outside edge there. Again, more by look than design. This isn't, I don't know if that's total central, but there's a bit of a lip which I want there, so I'm hoping that when the spring goes on it'll go over this and then catch on this sort of lip type thing, and not just unhook as it has been. I might have to actually like sand or file or grind this off here so that the spring does hook on better, because a bit unsure about how it is there. I want it almost hooked totally under the spring. Right, I'm going to do the same to the shaft. Drill in here. I'll do that off camera, and put a 3mm bolt in there. Pretty much the same. Okay, there you are. Got the bolt screwed into there. Now again, it's a little bit off centre. One problem is there's a bump of the plastic around there, and this is pretty tight on the spring hole, I think, anyway, so that's a bit iffy. But when I design this, again, if this anywhere near works, that is, I'll design it in such a way that this problem will be hopefully alleviated. Sorry, it'll have the hole sort of printed in a position and such like, and to just go around part of the bolt probably. So yeah, so I'm hoping that, see, it does have this sort of, well, obviously the head on the bolt here. If the spring actually does get over here, it'll catch on that, and hopefully that will be enough to hold it in position. Right, I'm going to see about putting this, so that, again, that's a 3mm 10 bolt M3 button headed Allen bolt. Right, I'll put it back together and well, I'll probably try and show you at least getting the spring in. Right, I put the spring on this floor here. I've got this towel ready. I don't know how much I can show you of this, but I intend to gradually wiggle these tie wraps I put on off, and obviously it will spring open. So that's one reason I've got the towel sort of ready. Is almost like I'm going to cover it a bit. Well, actually I might kind of hold this. I'm not sure how well this will come out at all. The tie wraps come off there extremely easily, keeping hold of the edges of the spring at all times. Right, that's one off. Now let's get this other one off. Are we in camera? Yeah, I'm trying to get somewhere in the center camera. Gradually see, there we go. And I'm letting it, releasing the pressure. You might see it turning there slowly, slowly. Catchy monkey. Yeah. We can see how much sort of bigger it gets there. Okay, now the idea here is to feed this into on that other part. So let's see if I can do that. Right, okay, I've got it up here. So trying to get this hook. How's that? Now I can, to a certain extent, I can almost test this. Will this hook seem likely to come off? Right, I just want to go around a little bit here. Like I say, when it's like winding up, this is shrinking in the way in size, diameter, so it's going to be pulling in. It's very hard to tell actually if that's going to stop on there. I mean, the plastic edge there is sort of not on the nut, not on the bolt. I mean, the bolt head isn't really touching that. I might just continue on, keeping a hold, keep fingers over this, gradually feeding the spring in and turning it round. Make sure it's going to And as you can see, you quite need this inside edge, and I can just tuck that over. Just a second, I'm going to get a flat bladed screwdriver to make sure this is it's down below that edge anyway, so that's okay. Yeah, you're going to know is actually get this on here. I like to loosely put these balls are going in upside down. It's just to, if I don't drop them on the floor, it's just to hold it somewhere in position, hold that somewhere where it needs to be. Right, not even go through that. No, it won't even get past this because it's high up now. So I'm going to have to file this out a bit. Okay, I used this almost Dremel type tool, like a rotary pointed file, to file this out now. It does melt the plastic a bit because the friction gets, you know, creates heat, even if you're on slow, I think. But I managed to make this hole quite a bit bigger, so now this will go past there. Okay, back to as I was. Okay, back to somewhere. Let's trying to fit this in. Let me just check, actually. Just want to check that. Yeah, that's on that sort of peg thing. Hope that bolt is enough to keep that in. So then just pop these bolts in here loose. Now, how am I going to get this to hook onto there? The only way I can think of doing it is actually if I can get this screwdriver in and leave the spring over. So that goes down onto just on the edge of the spring. I doubt if you can see in here. Yeah. Try and get the angle a bit better for the video. Again, keep pressure on the top because we don't want the spring to come loose. It would be possible to spring out and lift this lid off as it is at the moment, so I'm just trying to get that and behind the spring and lift it over the bump in the way of the peg and the screw. Can I do that? Turn it. Try and get into the. Can I get into the hole at the bottom? I might. That's not on. Or is it? It went on there. But do not press on these fins. Okay. Avoid those fins. I mean, it's not so bad on this part because it's got strength, but certainly the outside of the fins. Right, let me. I'm going to pop this on for now. I can turn it like this. And something's clipping, just not gripping again. I'm just hoping like that might hook it now. You can see how that's wanting to turn. So keep it under tension all the time, well under, so that it won't just spin wild. Okay, you have a look down here. I don't know if you can see that gap. It's very difficult to tell if that's even clipped on there or not. It feels like it's clipped on, but feeling has nothing to do with it. Right, I'll put it back together, put this spring in here, put it all back together, and we'll try it out. So that spring in here. Okay, I put it back together. This is the first. So go, as I say, that's on that sort of ratchet thing on the spring, and that's winding up. Feels like it's getting tighter and tighter a bit. Getting a bit wary of it now, so let's try. That was particularly when it fires like that, it has a chance of coming off. Say there's a tendency for me to turn the body and hold the front rather than turning the front. That's really tight there, and some power in that, I can feel it. It hasn't come off yet. Right, I'll try and do this one in slow motion, okay? Well, I've done it 6-7 times there, and it's been okay. So the actions there, put on a propeller, keep your fingers behind this plate, especially if you want to do like that, mind this thumb here, so more like this. Keep this pulled all the way over when you pull it over, otherwise it will stop it. As I say, this does have that other ratchet in, so this can continue on turning if it's kept on the, something I can't really try, I don't think. and I can't even try it on a diesel engine. I do not have a model diesel engine. Okay, yeah, I think that's okay, as good as it's going to get for this prototyping stage. Yep, so there's a bit of a look round. Danger, yeah, keep your fingers behind the plate at all times. Well, when you use it. So one more time, I think. Well, you'll watch. Last time I do it, it'll probably come off inside, will it? I put this white line on with some paper correction fluid stuff, Tippex type stuff from Poundland, just to indicate more for the video than anything else. There we go, yeah. So I'll just, when I do the design, I'll design it slightly different so that it allows for those bolts to be put in a bit neater than what I've done in this prototyping. I'll also probably put some holes in that middle plate actually, so you can see through it a bit better, or something with that.